3, 2, 1. We could get a brief shower, thunderstorm overnight, muggier tonight at 71 degrees, 87 brisk winds and stormy at times tomorrow, but it does get better for football Friday night. I'm NBC4 meteorologist Jym Ganahl from Storm Team 4 on 97.9 WNCI. Never not wanted to come to work. Even this year, half a dozen times I've been called in for working too many hours. They say, you can't keep working 60 hours. And so I just changed my timesheet to 8-hour days. And so they don't bother me anymore. Okay, when I was 12, I wasn't a good student. And the only thing I cared about was snow days. If I'd wake up not getting a snow day, I'd be mad, so I started studying weather. And I was kind of quiet all through high school, but after I graduated, I did walk into KWWL in the Waterloo Cedar Rapids market, and I said, for some reason, I don't know why, I can do this job better than the guy you have doing it, end quote. And they liked the age, youngest in the country, hadn't started college yet, and so they gave it a shot. And so all during college, my 6 nights a week, we're doing weather on TV, even at age 17. I just love weather. I mean, I just absolutely love the weather. The calls I get in here often don't reflect that. I don't know if you guys realize that or not. The calls I get are just from people relating what's going on in their lives. This one guy called me every day for 10 years at 3:30 in the afternoon to tell me what he's had for lunch. And if I don't pick up the phone, he'll continue to call. There's a guy who only showers once a week, but he has to call Tuesday evening to see if there's any storms in the power grid that could knock the power out because he's afraid to dry himself off in the dark. There's a guy who said, should I have my sump pump on? I said, well, why don't you have it on now? He said, the post office made him shut it off. And I said, why do they do that? And they said, there's a short in it. It shocks the mailman when he walks through the yard. And there's a guy who called and says, can I put gravy on the sidewalk? You want to know, well, why do you want to put gravy on the sidewalk? There's black ice out there, and the dog will go lick up the gravy and maybe lick up the black ice too. Raccoons are breaking into my trailer. What should I do? Cover the hole. How do I give oral medication to my pet rabbit? The Catholic Church won't talk to me. They don't believe I can raise people from the dead. Sorry, neither do I. I just had 10 cups of coffee. Why? I'm trying to stay awake for Walker, Texas Ranger. Okay, I get that. So it's really, those are the calls that I get all the time. When I first started, we didn't even have radar. We didn't even have satellites. All we had was twice a day an Associated Press story that had the fronts and the highs and the lows and maybe 10 temperatures in the country. That's all we had. National Weather Service didn't even issue tornado warnings until like the early 70s, and they were shamed into that because in the Great Plains, Tornado Alley, we have a lot of Air Force bases all the way from Omaha down through Oklahoma into Texas, and the meteorologists at those bases were issuing tornado warnings for the bases. And so the people were saying, why not us? And so the first great example of that working was the Xenia tornado outbreak, April 3rd and 4th, 1974, when 318 people died on 148 tornadoes. That was the first real explosion of the National Weather Service doing that. So that's a big change for us. It's my hobby to start with, and anybody's hobby is their job. You can't have a better life. I mean, there's never a bad day. And I told my bosses here when we announced that we were going to try to end this on my 50th anniversary, that still, when I turn the corner on Olentangy to come into this station after all these years, I still get upbeat and happy that I'm turning in to come to work. And I think that's rare for a lot of people in their jobs. I just love it. NBC4 meteorologist Jym Ganahl from Storm Team 4 on 97.9 WNCI.